Welcome to Spiritual Insights with David Johnson. This series presents a unique channel perspective on modern spirituality and self-actualization. In this episode, we channel Iron Will, a Native American shaman who lived over 100 years ago. We asked him to expand on the spiritual practice of experiencing silence without the distraction of technology.
We, of course, did not have a choice. We did not have skyscrapers. We did not have devices. We were on the earth. We were simply without a choice. And you can see the advantages. Not having a choice means we could not go the wrong direction. And it is. But as you are walking through the woods, we would first of all say, yes, it is better to walk in the woods than not walk into the woods. So if the only thing that gets you to walk is by bringing a podcast, well, by all means do so. We would also say that it is a good thing. Sometimes you can be in nature and you can listen to beautiful music and it soothes you. Dave has taken to listening to more music as opposed to watching stressful YouTube videos. And this is highly recommended. He is, of course, in his house. It's not an opportunity now for him to walk. But at the same time, when he goes into his garden, he has much more of a tendency not to wear shoes, because he can feel, touching the earth, that it is better for him, that this is something that was missing. This is a practice we would engage in. If music is in attendance, that is perfectly okay. We would say, however, if there comes a time where you would like to work things out, go into the silence. Not forever, just go in for a few days. Go in for a week and make it a plan that you will slow down. Say to yourself, well, I have experienced one world. It's more intellectual, perhaps more musical, perhaps more visual, etc. I've been into one world where I'm gaining and learning and becoming, etc. But there is another world with which I will parallel it. Perhaps you would say, all right, for every 4 hours I listen to music in the woods, I will spend 1 hour just listening in the woods. Perhaps the music will take me to a certain place by the water that I really like, and I will sit there and I will listen to the water for an hour once I get there. It is okay to make these kinds of compromises. We would just say, don't forget the other. Do the one, but don't forget the other. It may not necessarily be the best idea for every individual to go live alone in the woods and stop the relationship with all the machines. That would put some stress on the land, among other things, but it would also disconnect you from one advantage that the Western society has, which is the collective group of individuals working together to solve problems. You have a better collective group in some senses than we did, for we were a bit more separate from one another. It was like 10,000 little countries in one, and there were some advantages to that, for we didn't do some of the destructive things that you are doing now. But at the same time, well, we could have defended ourselves better if we were united, and our ideas would have been better exchanged had we been in more proximitous relationships with others. We may also have had wars. Of course, there is a downside. So we would just say, this is not to condemn any way of life. This is just to say, let us achieve balance. And on the first day, you're not going to do it perfectly. You're not going to go, I am sensing that this video is driving me towards anger, and I will stop immediately. There will be an awareness, I am starting to feel a little bit angry. Why am I feeling angry? Notice first the feelings. How am I feeling? If you do not notice the feelings, there is no way out of this trap. And once one notices the feelings, I am getting quite angry. I'm getting even more angry. Oh, this is the most angry I have been all day. What am I doing? I am just going down a rabbit hole of anger. I can control this. I can stop it simply by closing the lid of this computer. I can do it. I have the power. And in that very moment, realizing, yes, I have the power and I'm going to take it. I'm not going to be led away by this machine and those who are pulling the strings behind the machine. I am going to choose. Again, this will not happen perfectly. It may take a year for a person just to notice, wow, I am very much angry these days. I wonder why. I never had this problem with my coworkers that I have now. In this process, again, we ask, just notice, how am I being affected? How are my feelings changed by this machine? If the machine can change my feelings, I can change my feelings. I can get up from the bed and choose not to be depressed. We don't wish to penalize anyone for being depressed or say that they are less than. We just want to point out that an individual can be depressed and can say at some point, I am choosing to get out of the bed and to go into the garden. I am choosing to walk and listen to the music. I may choose to walk and not listen to the music, but I am in control. I am making a choice for what's good for me. And then as I'm walking with the music and enjoying it, I'm noticing, oh, I feel so much better. I feel friendlier. This is perfectly fine. I do not need silence. I can enjoy this music and nature and walking at the same time. This works out well for me. And then maybe at some time they're feeling better and they're walking through the woods and they say, well, I wonder what it would be like just to not accomplish anything, just to be, just to sit in silence. Let's see how that feels. The process of what's going on is a bit like noticing yourself more. What is causing me to have particular sets of feelings? Is it a memory? Is it because I'm always worried? Is it because of something that happened in the past? What's causing me to have these feelings? Or am I allowing someone to manipulate those feelings? You'll notice in your culture, many things changed simply because a particular movie was made. And the one movie, there are good examples of this, that one movie changed everybody's attitude about the topic. You can think of certain countries that were they to make a good movie about what they're experiencing, their position in the world would completely change. We will leave you to think of such movies, but they will make the difference in an interpretation of how people understand the world. These movies are sort of postcards, messages from others that say, hello, see us. We again would ask, just notice. Start by noticing. Don't put it on the level of, you should do this or you shouldn't do this, like some kind of school marm over your shoulder telling you what to do. For of course, you will react to that and say, no, I will do what I want. Don't tell me what to do. I will watch the show all I like. Instead, look at it from your own perspective. I have control over this. Let me start with my feelings. And let's give it a shot. Perhaps I can watch just 1 hour of these videos today and I can pull myself away. Perhaps when I'm choosing, I will choose one video that is political and causes me some stress, and then I will choose another video where it is only music, or I will choose the videos that are more compassionate and bring more joy. We would say one good thing that is happening through these troubles is that people are becoming aware. I can be influenced, or I can influence myself. I can choose, or I can have others choose for me. What's happening when I allow others to choose for me? How am I being controlled? And first notice what's going on. And once the notice is made, take an action. And when that action is taken, notice the results. I am better connected to people. I am more in control. I am happy. I can sit in silence and not be stressed by the silence. I can just sit in silence and be. And that is what I want. When I look at my life, I will look at the silent times as well. When Dave looks at his life, he always thinks of that time, that week in Point Reyes, as a pivotal time, a time when he really leveled up his consciousness. And that was very much true. He really did change. And there were a series of times where he went to the mountains and other mountains where there were great changes. If it is possible, we suggest all of you go to nature, choose a time, and make it be more than 1 day. If possible, go on your own. If not possible, go with someone who is on your same wavelength and is ready to be quiet for some time. If you bring the devices and you have someone chattering away the whole time, it will not necessarily seem like you are in nature. You've just chosen another home and placed all of the distractions in a place that had no distractions. In Australia, it is not uncommon for people to bring their television sets and watch the football game while they are camping. Dave once went to a campsite where most of the people were watching the same game on separate televisions out in the middle of nature. Why did they come there? What was their purpose to come to nature? They could have sat at home and watched the exact same game on a bigger television on a more comfortable sofa. It is like they're pretending. They're pretending to connect. but not really doing it. Something happens there. Perhaps it is better. Perhaps there's a moment when the television is off. Perhaps they're connecting with some of the people in some ways. But it is a rather halfway effort, and it has minimum success.